Good morning, students. Today I am here in front of you again with a new topic. The name of our lesson is Harris in the Maze. It is written by Jeremy K. Jeremy. This extract is from A Three Men in a Boat, a humorous book by the English writer Jeremy K. Jeremy, of a 2-week boating holiday on the Thames. In this extract, the narrator and his two friends, George and Harris, are going around London. They pass the Hampton Court Palace. The palace has a garden maze, which is a tourist attraction. As they pass it, Harris remembers the last time he had visited the maze. Now, first of all, children, let me explain to you what is a maze. Okay, you can see in a picture there is some kind of a puzzle. Okay, and a network, the part designed with type of a puzzle, and it is almost we can say a greenery in color. It is almost a garden type. Okay, where we have a different type of a tree and the bushes. Harris asked me if I had ever been in the maze at Hampton Court. He said he went in once to show somebody else the way. He had studied it up in a map, and it was so simple that it seemed foolish, hardly worth the 2 pence change for admission. Harris said he thought that the map must have been got up as a practical joke because it wasn't a bit like the real thing and the only misleading. So what the Harris asks the author that have you ever gone to a Hampton Court, the maze, okay, here the puzzle, the place of a puzzle, and where it was in a Hampton Court. He said once he went there, but to show somebody else the way. He studied it. Now for different you can see other maps. Okay, for any of the thing we prepare a outline map. Now through that map it was so simple that it seems to be a foolish, hardly worth the 2 pence charge for the admission. So to give a 2 pence to get entry into that puzzle, into that maze, it seems like a practical joke. It was a country cousin that Harris took in. He said, we will just go in here so that you can say you have been, but it is very simple. It's absurd to call it a maze. You keep on taking the first turning to be right. We will just walk around for 10 minutes and then go and get some lunch. So what is it? Okay, we will go, and you said as you want to go there and you want to see. So it's a very simple thing. You go and enjoy and just go for a 10 minutes. First take a right turn. Take a 10 minutes walk around it, and then we will go for a lunch. They met some people soon after they had got inside, who said they had been there for 3/4 for an hour. So as they went inside, they met some of the people, okay, who was already there for how many hours? 3.25 for an hour. Had about enough it. Harris told them they could follow him if they like. So what the Harris told, if you want to complete this puzzle, so if you want you can join me. He was just going in and then should turn round and come out again. They said it was very kind of him and fell behind and followed. So what Harry said, I am just going in and within a 10 minutes I will return back. So if you want to follow me or come with me, so you can join me. They pick up various other people who wanted to get it over as they went along until they had absorbed all the person in the mass. So there were so many of the person who had got stuck in that puzzle. They could not find the way. Okay, so all of them had followed the Harish. People who had given up all hopes of ever getting either in or out, or ever seeing their homes and friends again, plucked up courage. Now, the people, they started losing their hope, whether they can get out of this puzzle, whether they can reach the home, whether they can see their friends. Okay, now all have forced themselves. Plucked up the courage, that means they have forced themselves to be a brave at the sight of Harris and his party and joined the procession. Procession means a line people moving forward in a orderly direction, blessing him. Harris said he should judge there must have between 20 people following him in all, and one woman with a baby who had been there all the morning instead of taking his harm for fear of losing him. So, what the Harish said that he should be a judge. There must be how many people? 20, more than 20 people who was following Harish. All were following Harish. There was one woman who was taking a baby in his arm, was having a baby in his arm. She was carrying the baby in his arm of fear of what? That she might lose the baby. Harris kept on turning to the right, but it seemed a long way, and his cousin said he supposed it was a very big mess. So Harris kept on turning the right side, and it seemed that the roads are very long. And what his cousin said, he said that it is a very big area. Oh, one of the largest in Europe, said Harris. Yes, it must be, replied the cousin, because we have walked a good 2 miles already. Harris began to think it rather strange himself, but he held on until at last they passed the half of the piece of cake on the ground that Harris' cousin saw. He had noticed there 7 minutes ago. Harris said, "Oh, impossible." Now, it was strange for the Harris. Okay? Now why it became a strange? Now, up till now, Harris was thinking that he was on his right way. But when he saw a piece of a cake that was being sold, or we can say that was being sold by sold by his cousin, that was 7 minutes ago. Okay, his cousin might eating a piece of cake which has fallen down. Harry said, "Oh, impossible." But the woman with the baby said, "Not at all," as she herself had taken it from the child and throw it down there just before she met Harris. She also added that she wished she never had met Harris and expressed an opinion that he was an impostor. Impostor means afraid. That had made Harris mad, and he produced his map and explained his theory. So what the Harris said, "Oh, it's impossible." But what the woman carrying the baby said, "Not at all," because she herself has taken it from the child and throw it down. And what she said, she met just before she met the Harris, and she also added that she wished she had never met a Harish, and expressed his opinion that he was afraid of, that she wants to come out from this puzzled. "The map may be all right enough," said one of the party, "if you know whereabout in it we are now." So what the Harris did, to give an explanation, what he did, he took out the map and he explained the theory. So one of a member from their group, what they said, so map will be all right. Now, if you know whereabout we are standing, so the map will be work out and we may get out of it. Harris didn't know and suggested that the best thing to do would be to go back to the entrance and begin again for the begin again part of it. So what the Harris did, "I don't know where we are, but we can do one thing. we can just start from the entrance. We can go behind again with the entrance and we can start from there. There was not much enthusiasm, but with regard to advisability of going back to the entrance there was completely unanimity. Unanimity means agreement among everyone. And so they turned and trailed after. Trailed after means followed. Now, no one can do anything because almost the people, those who are following Harris, they have spent more than 3 hours in that pursuit. Okay. So they all were agree with the opinion that they will go back again to the entrance and from there they will start again by following the map. Harris again in the opposite direction about 10 minutes more passed and then they found themselves in the center. Harris thought at first of pretending that was what he had been aiming at, but the crowd looked dangerous and he decided to treat it as an accident. Anyhow, they had got something to start from then. They did not know where they were and the map was once more consulted. Consulted means gone through. Or we can say it was looked upon with an information. And the thing seemed simpler than ever, and off they started for the third time. And 3 minutes later, they were back in the center again. After that, they simply could not get anywhere else. Whatever way they turned brought them back to the middle. It became so regular at length that some of the people stopped there and waited for the other to take a walk around and come back to them. Now, after the 3 minutes, all were back in the center again. That means they were moving in the same place only. And now simply the things happened that some of the people they started standing in one place and waiting for the other people to join them. It became so regular at length that some of the people stopped there and waited for the other to take a walk round and come back to them. Harris drew out his map again after a while, but the sight of it only infuriated the mob. Mob means large crowd. Now people started disobeying the Harris. Now whatever the faith they were having that the Harris will help them to come out of this puzzle. Now they also know that the things will not work out. They told him to go and curl his hair with it. Harris said that we could not help feeling that to a certain extent. He had become unpopular. They all got crazy at last and sang out for the keeper, and the man came and climbed up the ladder outside shouted out the direction to them. But all their heads were by the time in such a confused whirl that they were incapable of grasping. Confused whirl means dizziness. So all were very tired, and grasping means we can say understanding. Anything, so that the man told them to stop where they were and he could come to them. So all we can say the person, they started shouting for the keepers. Okay, the keepers means the people who take cares. And the man came and climbed up the ladder. That means one of the man, he took the ladder, okay, and he started shouting out in one direction for them. And what the man told them, that wherever they are, they have to stop there only. He would come to them. They huddled together and waited, and he climbed down and came in. He was a young keeper, as luck would have it, and new to the business when he got in. He could not find them and he wandered about trying to get to them, and then he got lost. So the keeper was very new. Even he was not aware of the puzzle, aware of the road. So while he was on the way, he was listening the sound, he was moving toward it, but he wasn't able to find them. He himself got lost in the puzzle. They caught a sight of him looking around every now and then, rushing about the other side of the hedge, and he would see them and rush to get to them. They would wait there for about 5 minutes, and then he would reappear again in exactly the same spot and ask them where they had been. They had to wait till one of the old keepers came back from his dinner before they go out. So, according to the Harris, the map was a very easy way to go out. He was thinking it was a silly thing to enter in that puzzle. But what happened? Even he was unable to get out of that puzzle. When they were all came out, when the old keeper came, who went for a lunch, and when he has help, that time all of them came out. So now the student, you might have understood the lesson. We will see the grammar. Determiners. Today I am going to explain you the determiner. Determiner help identify the things. In particular, it points out the mark, a specific noun, and hence always followed by a noun. Here we can see an apple, this chair, his coat, 12 monkey, a little sugar. Article, positive activity. Articles, what are the articles? You can see a and the. Possessive adjective, my, your, his, her, its, your, their. Numbers, all numbers, whether it may be a thing or people. Quantifiers, few, many, much, several, little. All, some, both, each, neither, either, another, anywhere, everywhere. Demonstrative, this, that, these, those. Okay. Now here we will complete. For myself, I have discovered an excellent prevention against the seasickness in balancing myself. You stand in the center of the deck, and as the ship heaves and pitches, you move your body about so as to keep it always straight when the front of the ship rises. You lean forward till the deck almost touches your nose, and when it bakes and gets up, you lean backward. This all very well for an hour or two, but you can't balance yourself a week. Now, you have to underline the determiner. I rather pride myself, my, packing. Packing is one of the many things that I feel know more about than any other person living. It surprised me myself sometimes how many of those subjects there are. I impressed the fact upon George and Harris and told them that they had better leave the matter entirely to me. They fell into the suggestion with a readiness that had something uncanny about it. Neither of them disagree with me. So here you can use some of the collation word. The collation are the combination of two or more words that are easily used together. They sound right to the English speaker. So do your hair, do the washing up, have the conversation, make a visit, take a seat, break the law, catch a cold, take a chance, make a difference, have a good time. So student, you might have understood the lesson, that what the morals you get from the lesson, that the thing something look very simple, but when we try to do it, it becomes too complicated. So we should not be overconfident about it. Okay children? So here the lesson and the grammar, you might have understood it very well. Have a good day. So I will see you on the next lecture. Bye.